Hi folks, hope you're okay today. I just want to talk about power language, and that using language can be a form of power gains, and where demarcation is being done and ostracization. What I mean is you often see this, especially with the left in the West. The left will often demonize the opponents by saying you're mentally ill. This is what Western leftist intellectuals are prone to do, news reporters, academics. What they will do is they will demonize their opposition by saying they're mentally ill for attacking us. So if the opponents do attack them in rhetoric articles, then it makes it worse because they're seen as mentally ill because they've been labelled as mentally ill. So Western leftist intellectuals are very prone to do that. Um, so, like for example, mental illness. Those intellectuals over there on the right are mentally ill. Don't listen to them. That's why they're attacking us. And once you've labelled your opponent, that label sticks, and then you're able to control the public discourse by getting rid of your opposition. And that's what you see on YouTube quite a lot with the atheist community. For example, Hogtie Champ recently said it's not about atheists v Christians. I think it's more about ordinary intelligent people, some unbelievers, some believers, Orthodox, Catholic, and unbelievers together, versus the nut job evangelicals. So using the word nut job evangelicals automatically demarcates your opponents, labels them, and it's about ostracizing them from public discourse. So basically what I'm saying is, if people are not actually dealing with arguments, if they're just dealing with personalities and attacking personalities, I mean, for example, you'll find that the atheist community have done maybe 20, 30 or more Google Hangouts in the last year concerning me, where they're just for 3 or 4 hours a stretch just talking, attacking me as a person, and they'll have these Google Hangouts for hours and hours and hours attacking me as a person, but they're not actually dealing with the arguments. They're not dealing with any of my scholarly videos that I've made, which are hundreds, if not in the thousands. So that's an example of, again, basically a culture that is not actually engaged in argument and debate, but trying to label people so that they're ostracized from public debate and discourse. So what I'm saying is, beware of power language being used on either side. I use the word militant atheist. I've called these people out, but I'm not trying to exclude them from debate. I'm trying to show that they are militant in their activities. I'm not trying to demonize atheism, because atheism and atheists generally are okay, but there's just a small minority of militant atheists who are politically active, where they're trying to take people's rights away by bullying people rather than actually intellectual debate and discussion. So I'm not trying to ostracize atheism as a whole. I'm happy to debate atheists and talk with atheists, generally speaking. But what quite a few atheists are doing on the internet is they're trying to put Christians in bags and say these are the creatards, the nut jobs, the fucktards. These are the kind of language that they use, and basically what that is doing is trying to label you so that no one will actually listen to you or take seriously what you're trying to say. And once the labels stick, they stick. But I would ask you to don't let them play power games or power language, but get to know the people yourself. Get to know the individuals who are being marginalized, demonized, ostracized from public debate on YouTube. Get to know them yourselves and find out for yourself what they're really like, and they're not what their opponents are actually demonizing them as. The other way is to slander your opponent. That's another way of labeling, to push your opponent away from public discourse and debate, and the atheists have tried to do that and throw mud at me for a number of years. But in the end, it's just trying to project to you that they're the intelligent ones, and anybody who believes anything differently are not the intelligent ones. But I would ask you to actually just engage, discuss, talk, look at the person, talk with the person, read what the person says, listen to what the person says, and make up your own mind, and don't let power language control your mind as to how you perceive someone. And be very suspicious of someone who's using power language. Alright, thank you for listening, and take care.